Hey, hunters, and welcome back to the Zach and Beats podcast. Did I cut off the end there? Hey, hunters, and welcome back to the Zach and Beats podcast, the podcast series where we discuss all things coin hunt world with a dose of off-topic stuff sometimes. But it's episode 52, and today, Zach, today is October 5th, which, if you remember from our trivia show and from a year ago, is the 1-year anniversary of our first podcast. Can you believe it, Zach?
Wow, that's awesome. I cannot believe that, actually. You just dropped it on me right now. I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Well, I wrote it in here a while ago, so it's on you that you didn't read it. So to celebrate, though, we will be talking about...
As you make it obvious, I can't read, so why are you surprised?
Yeah, I just write this in here for me. That's right. Okay. Well, a year later, and here we are still at it, right?
Something like that, yeah.
To celebrate, we will be talking about the Halloween beans that just dropped today. That's nice. Try to catch up on the last week's worth of happenings in and around the Cubieverse, like our buddy quests and our continued experiences with 333, or as I will still call it, the Great Divide. And we'll get into the single greatest tragedy the Cubieverse has ever experienced, Cubie Air crashing and burning.
Oh, I thought you were going to say losing Squeamy from the community.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, that was bad, but we're all a little more upset about our $35, $70, or $100, right?
That, yeah.
Or in some cases, I guess maybe even in Squeamy's case, thousands of dollars, which we'll get to. We'll get to all that. But first, if you're still playing Coin Hunt World and listening to Coin Hunt World podcast like this one, hit that like button and subscribe to us on Spotify. You can
there you go.
Find us. Yeah, see? Thank you, Kata. You're helping us out. You can also find us on Twitter at Zach and Beats. Oh, I was going to say more, but no, it's just at Zach and Beats. So we got a lot of stuff to get back to. What do you want to start with, Zach?
Let's start with Halloween.
All right, cool.
If you're going to let me go out of order.
Yeah, we can remember to get back to it. Halloween beans. So you said you saw this article, so you can read. So what were you most excited about?
Well, I saw the picture. I didn't actually read. I was like, oh, wow, there's the mummy-looking zombie skeleton guy.
You know what I thought? I thought it looks like a dead architect.
Oh, shit.
He's got like a suit and tie. The only other person with a suit and tie is you. So
what,
I was like,
what could you expect? Like after you get shit beat out of you, you're probably dead. So, right?
There's a story being told here. First the wombat, first you're born, and then the wombat beats the shit out of you, and then you're dead. And you come back to life, though. So
yeah,
see if you have some kind of revenge.
Are the undead actually alive, though?
That's a great question. Maybe that could be our off-topic section there. It is a cool-looking zombie, so I wonder. Yeah, I wonder about that.
He's smiling at least.
He is? Okay. I feel like most zombies, unless they're getting a question right, are very stoic.
Yeah.
So let's get into that Cubie then, because they said that 4 new Cubies were going to drop, 1 new common and 3 new epics. There's been talk about making like a zombie randomizer. Do you think this zombie that we're seeing is the common that's coming, or do you think there's something else happening? Like a 3 epic, one blueprint for 3, flight attendants, 1 for 3 zombies?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think they like this kind of thing now?
Yeah, I would say they do, but I don't know if it's a randomizer or not, but I'd like it either way. Keep them coming, right?
Lots of people have been saying like what they think the epic will be. That people said like ghost or a skeleton. Do you have any idea like what would be like a classic Halloween theme to go with?
I don't know, but I did.
What were you for Halloween when you were like 5 or 6?
5 or 6, man.
Yeah,
there you go. I always say I don't remember life until like 7 or 8.
Don't remember anything else.
Like I think it was so traumatic that I just blocked it all out.
No.
I think probably, the earliest thing I remember is I think it probably Ninja Turtle.
Okay, okay. That's not going to be in the Halloween
thing,
but no. I got you.
I mean, I could say a football player. I could say like a zombie type football player, but I mean,
okay.
Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel what's that game called that has like zombies versus monsters? It's just like
Plants versus Zombies?
Yeah, that. At some point, they have like a character with a football helmet on coming across.
Yes, I think
zombie-ish
you're right.
thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
The few times I played it, it reminded me of that. I guess you could make a QB like that, but
I hope they stick more classic than like don't
Yeah.
make it too like
Sure.
like anything else But yeah,
it
it's
is
cool.
football season, and we do have like a
Okay.
ESPN fantasy league here. So
Did anybody win that? I don't know anything about it other than
I think there's weekly winners, like the top 5 get crystal keys or something like that, and then
Holy crap! Have you won any?
no,
You just pick the Chiefs every time.
I do pick the Chiefs every game. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's the biased, but it's got me whatever.
You should have been picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I guess so.
See, there you go. I thought about it and said, hey, I want to get in on this football thing and pick some teams, and then totally forgot that you should pick them every week. So I probably am doing terrible at that.
Well, if it helps you, you can pick ahead of time. You can go through all the weeks and pick.
Yeah, I've probably missed, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks now, so I'm probably screwed.
Yeah, we could still win weekly though, right?
Okay, fair enough. There's no like cumulative like prize at the end.
I don't know those details, but I just know I haven't won anything yet.
All right, fair enough.
Too bad, honest. Not good enough.
That's honest. So the first part that they talk about for the Halloween thing, first of all, is that it's starting October 25th at midnight UTC. So for me, that's October 24th at 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. So I know that for you, that's 7 p.m. October 24th, right?
Right.
So there you go. And it goes until Halloween night, midnight. I'm like looking at UTC trying to make sure I know what it's saying. So Halloween night at 8 o'clock for me and 7 o'clock for you. So there you go. Hopefully it's enough time to get everything that you need to get. Do you think of any new resources you think might be coming? I just like to throw these questions at you. None of this is on the script.
Yeah, no, I can't. Nothing comes to mind. I mean, I have some Halloween candy. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You could like a bucket. I don't know. Put your treats in.
See, you always come up with something. That's good.
I don't know.
Under the caption, they put the monster Cubie, which I don't know why they didn't call it the Frankenstein Cubie, but they called it the monster. But it says this will be your last chance to snag a monster Cubie blueprint. So I don't know if you already bought one back in the auction house or if you got one, but you should get one.
That's interesting, since I thought the rares were always coming back.
Right. There's nothing else mentioned about that. There's no, like footnote to it. It just says this will be your last chance to snag a monster Cubie blueprint. So maybe they're just retiring it, kind of like an epic. And maybe this is the beginning of, Halloween is the first one in, the kind of the seasons of Wizard World. So is this a new thing to start kind of getting rid of some of the rares too, because there's no cap on them, but in a shop, as I've said before, in the shop, a rare should be 10,000. So if you start to near that 10,000 mark, you maybe want to turn them off in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's never been mentioned.
I like the idea of maybe after 2 or 3 seasons retiring a rare.
The rares,
right? It would make sense to me. But I don't know. It would
it makes a lot of sense to everybody who has those blueprints.
Right. Yeah. I mean, sure, the newcomers probably would think that's a terrible idea, but at the same time, for those early adopters, it would be beneficial.
Well, and here's the thing. You're calling them rare, so they have to have some rarity. So they know how many are out there. So, yeah, I'm hoping that they're thinking like, all right, around 10,000, we should get rid of it, because obviously with the epics, we'll talk about Cubie Air, but like with the pilot suddenly dropping more than the marshaller, so things kind of went wonky at some point. So I wonder if they're trying to kind of correct that.
I agree. Yeah.
There's a Halloween costume contest. Are you going to participate this year?
I didn't participate last year. I remember you did.
Yeah.
You had.
I came in second.
You had something over your head, right? And then you took away your vote for, who was it?
Oh, come on. I was a key booth. I was a key booth. That's all we need to know.
Yeah, okay.
Go back and find it if you really want to. Yes, I took away a vote from other people just to make sure I was higher as high as I could be. I'm out to win. So yes, I don't know if you're gonna do it this time. If people have new ideas for new costumes, I can't wait to see it. People were pretty clever last time.
Yeah, yeah. People were pretty clever. It was neat to see all the costumes.
It's interesting that the #1 costume last year, the #1 voted costume last year, was Kevo String's Minel costume. So I wonder if anybody else is going to be able to pull off a costume of another hunter, because that seems to go off really well. I hope to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can do you.
Zach.
Yeah, I can be with Zach.
Well, we don't actually know if it's called Zach because it's not called Zach in game. It was like the pseudo name that Leppy
Right?
keeps using. So,
And all the other ones kept their name. So who knows?
she's gonna call me. She's gonna call it Zach though. So
Okay. Leppy's got your back.
while she does it, I'll take it. You know, it's probably like, if we're gonna beat the shit out of this guy, probably can't call him Zach.
We've had quest chains that do let's see. So quest chains where you just had to find the blueprint and print the thing to move on. And we've had quest chains where you have to open so many vaults to move on. And we've had quest chains that require you to open mystery boxes to move on. With this being the first Halloween quest chain, do you think they're going to throw something else in, or they're going to kind of stick to a mix or one of these things that we've seen?
I would say they're probably going to stick to something we've seen, maybe with a little twist, but I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see if anything's delayed again. And I just say that because they've also got, not to drop anything ahead of time, but they've also got the Adventure Road coming. And, you know, so they got to work on multiple things at once. They're going to have their hands full. So,
as they always say.
Right. I would guess that's probably why they're starting Halloween on the 25th, too, if they're going to drop the Adventure Road on the 1st.
Yeah, and kind of have. So that's interesting, too, because you're just triggering that in my mind, that the Halloween event will end, and that moment, Adventure Road will start. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they say the 1st at, 12 a.m. UTC, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Do you have some Google Play rewards saved up, or are you just going to use your in-game currency, or do you know, to get the crystal keys?
I have, let's see. So out of that other game, Hero Trainer, that we play, I have probably maybe, I think $10. $10 coming to me from there. And I've been doing the Google survey things, and I'm up to $5 from there. So I'm hoping by the time we get to November 1st, I'll be able to pull off at least 1 month of just kind of freebie in it. And I'm hoping at some point, I think, because this would be cool, is that we make either crystal keys or just the pay to play, whatever. I guess it would just be the crystal keys, making crystal keys a reward for other things that happen in the game, like, walking, blah, blah, blah. Maybe those daily quests that come along will start to just drop you, 1 crystal key here and there, just, kind of to bait you in, right? To get you to say, all right, well, I got a couple now, and I can get a couple more. So I'm hoping it works like that, and not just that there's an entire paywall between you and crystal keys. I'm hoping there's some way to achieve them. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think generally you'll have to buy in, but I think at least in the beginning they'll probably definitely do some giveaways. I mean, they're already doing giveaways. Obviously not any.
Yeah, you're right.
That me and you may win on the ESPN fantasy thing, but the Halloween thing will probably be crystal key giveaway too. So
yeah, and some of those, you're right, and that's why I was saying maybe will other things start to reward crystal keys, like leaderboard points at the end of the month or something like that. I don't know, but I was just thinking of making it a different way to get there. That's not just those contests and things like that, something you can grind for. Basically, is what I'm saying. Even if you get 1 crystal key here or there for something.
Are you doing you're doing the cash steps too, right?
What's cash steps?
I think it's
cash walk.
Yeah, cash walk. Is that it?
Cash walk does not work on my phone.
What?
Medvrich mentioned it to me before, and it like I can't get past the certain screen, so I don't know.
Oh,
I
that sucks.
But if that, I'll try it again.
Somebody had complained to me like, "Oh, it's terrible. Like you have to actually click on stuff to earn from it." I'm like, dude, like you literally open the app like several times a day, but you just click for 5 seconds, and then you have it. And then twice a month you get a $5 Google gift card. So it's not that bad, but I get it's another app, another thing to manage. But like I just have a folder with all my play to earn stuff inside of it, and then a few times a day I open it up, go through the list, and then
right.
So
right out of it.
The goal is to not have to spend as much hard-earned money on entertainment gaming. But
right.
Yeah.
And then you try to streamline and make efficient those little faucets and things like that you can find. Just make it like really quick, and all right, I can pull $1 a day or whatever it is out of that.
Right.
I'm reinstalling Cash Walk right now as we talk. Anyway, let's go back to Twin Hunt World. Okay, the last thing about Halloween that we didn't mention was that cauldrons are coming back, and it says better than ever. So obviously you want to walk to make sure the cauldron spawns. Last year I remember being able to get at least commons to spawn no matter what I was doing, and obviously never got an epic to spawn. But what was I going to say about that? That cauldrons now will be a little bit. No, two things. Cauldrons will spawn a little bit closer to where you spawn them from, and something about the timing is going to be a little different. So there's more to come about that. We don't know.
Hopefully, a lot of people complained last year about not being able to spawn the cauldrons, but I believe I was the only person in Kansas City, at least the only person I know of, that spawned a cauldron. But I didn't have
an epic.
Yeah, so I was able to get the
right.
witch from it, and I think Rudy and his mom got it too, but from that same cauldron. But the cat, I don't think
the black cat.
Yeah, nobody here had all the cats. I don't think so.
You didn't have the Missy, I think you said, right?
Yeah, no, I bought all the blueprints, but I'd sold all my paint.
Right, you didn't have any yellow paint.
Yeah, and it was outrageous in the auction house, and it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway, because I think I printed like 80 or so, 85, and never got the Missy, so it was rough for me.
That sucks. Yeah. I fear that now. I think like, hey, I've had pretty good RNG for a long time, and I'm like, that's going to completely run out at some point, so we'll see. What you said about the cauldrons too is that Illusion Weaver definitely said that they will be different. The witch's recipe will be different. So people are talking about like maybe instead of the cats, the tikis will be needed or something. I don't know. I don't know if you have any ideas about that. You think it'll just be cats again?
I don't know, but I do know that there are a bunch of cats yet to burn through, so I think it would actually be pretty nice if it were cats again.
Right. Yeah, to get rid of some of the 100,000 cats that will be out there.
Yeah.
When cats come back, you think they'll sell out? There's 100,000 of them, or what? 80 some thousand.
Yeah, I was thinking there was 80, give or take several thousand. It's still a lot either way.
Well, I think they said a lot would be given out for those Twitter contests and stuff like that. Like we're just giving out through the wiki contest that we did. So
sure,
that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, hope cats come back. I don't have a ton of keys, but hopefully it works.
Right.
Speaking of keys, how you doing on keys? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, I actually did something I've never done before since the time I've been playing the game. I was at the Yellow Vaults recently, and I only had one yellow key because I just haven't been very active on the auction house and stuff. And so I forged up blues to make a yellow, and just
never done that, huh?
Never once. Nope. So
wow.
It's a new thing for me.
Oh, so we got to know, how did it work out?
Oh, I had one yellow, and there's 2 Kansas City Yellow Vaults. So
right, the World War I memorial or something.
Yeah, I could have guessed, but I was going for like, I only have one key. I don't want to burn through keys, especially since I have to forge up. Right. So I Googled both of the answers, even though
you used the bot.
Right. Yeah. Even though I was, well, one of them wasn't sure of. The other one I was leaning and I had the right answer, but I Googled anyways because I
Right.
didn't want to, especially forging up 100 blue keys. If I lost that would feel worse than just losing a yellow key, you know.
Wow.
So
All
anyway,
right. So yeah, you used
so
automation.
yeah, yeah, you bunny goose. Yeah. I just because of that, I kind of want to. I feel like I want to shout out K-Hag because he's just uh because um he could have you know he could have thrown a big fit about being number one and
Right.
deserving the blueprint and yada yada and basically in I mean this isn't like public knowledge, but if you're part of the wiki, like they had a meeting or he scheduled a meeting for the primary people or whatever to attend, and he said this isn't a complaining session. We're just here to plan out our next steps or whatever. So you can do that in your own time. He didn't say those exact words. I'm kind of putting words in his mouth, but like that was the vibe I got. So like I just thought that was big of him. I mean, I don't follow the chat, so it's possible he's complaining about it, but I hadn't seen any personally. So I just
I
wanted
haven't
to
either.
shout out that maturity, I guess, something I lack.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine if Zach was at the top of that leaderboard and it just got crashed and burned.
Well, I mean, I want to hope that this year I would act differently than last, but who knows, right?
First of all, everyone would have said bots right away if you were number one. So that's that.
I don't know about that. They'd be like, he's too dumb to have a bot.
Too dumb to have the bot. Oh, that's even worse. Yeah, well, that's me. That's me. I wouldn't even know where to start with that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm too dumb to even try that. It's funny. Yeah, good on you guys. Good on K-Hag and everybody that was near the top, but especially, yeah, obviously, because he would have gotten the ace. So, or would he have? I saw a little back and forth with Blockboy who popped back in, who was at 40 something left, 40 more tries, and was could have studied more, could have whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in Q1 2023.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to use the same method now, in hindsight, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but
it absolutely does.
But I mean, to me personally, it doesn't matter.
But somebody
you were mentioning people that there's people that have made thousands of dollars cashing out, and
right.
I was kind of on the opposite side of that. Like, I didn't save for it because I wasn't really interested in like the cash out. I mean,
right.
It's not like saying I haven't taken money from the game. I wasn't like, I got to sell everything to get as much out of the game as I can. That wasn't my motive. So,
yeah, and I wonder if that was kind of where some of that came from. Was like, oh wow, like this person, and this person, like all these people are just going to take $1,000 or whatever they were about to get out of the game, and then just kind of not peace out, but like forget all the blueprints and cubies if I can get $100 or whatever for it. So I wonder if that was like, oh wow, I didn't know that many people were going to do that. Because it sounds like Blockboy did that, and Excalibur did that, and Squeamy did that, and so it doesn't sound like that was anything that was to be ashamed about until all this happened, and then like, wait, what do you mean? Like, you're not supposed to do that. So
sure,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I bought a turkey. I don't know.
Did you have an extra pass? Were you gonna do it again?
No, I had my one shot from the quest. That was it.
That actually surprises me, but I just figured you would have tried to get more shots.
I instead waited until things were as expensive as possible and then threw all my keys at one thing. So that's what I did. Instead of, oh my God, what I'm wondering who did it, who was smart enough to save all their keys for when everything just tanked and just bought everything they wanted in that moment. It wasn't you, apparently.
No, I wish it could have been me.
Yeah, me too.
Instead, I was buying I bought a bunch of resources from the last event after I figured out they weren't returning, and
key cards.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to hunt as hard as I wanted to, or I didn't. So I just was like, oh, I'll just spend keys and, but, and then I didn't have any keys to pick up those cheap items that were there.
So yeah, that's the give and take, right? Like you can spend every key you have in the event, and then right after the event, if you didn't spend all your keys, you can clean up. So
I got to be jealous. I mean, I'm a little jealous though. I feel like because we didn't try to cash out, I don't get all my keys in blue.
Oh yeah.
It's like it feels like for being a supporter of the game, you kind of get the shaft.
The great deforging.
Yeah.
Got to get rid of all of your red keys and turn.
Everybody's been asking for a way to deforge for the entirety of the game. All you gotta do is buy a bunch of adventure passes.
and then flip flop that. You could also now put an in-game ticket apparently and ask them to forge you up a couple of red keys if you had a whole bunch of them. So
yeah,
I'm assuming that that's just in this case and not that just you can request that all the time, but because they had to do that and give it back, they're doing like a one-time kind of help out.
Right.
All right, cool. Well, so Cash Walk tells me, it gives me a big exclamation point with a yellow triangle. To protect your information, the service is unavailable on jailbroken or rooted device. The system closes the process. It sounds very final to me, so I'm just going to accept, and it kicks me right back out. So I don't know if it doesn't like my phone. If you don't like 1+6T, 1+T6, whatever it is.
I assume you don't have a jailbroken device.
I don't even know what that would mean, so no.
You could just open up a support ticket, but yeah, I could understand how.
I don't even know what that means. I mean, I understand that that's like, hey, help me, but where? I can't even open the app itself.
I'll look and see if I can find one after the podcast for you.
Okay, thanks. We're back to a year and a half ago where you were like, hey, I'll just help you figure out how to do your life. I'll feed you the digested worms, you baby bird.
No, I'm in the same type of boat all the time. So I have the app installed, so it's probably easier for me to contact support than for you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, tell them some unnamed person is just trying to get in there, because just tell him Beats. Don't know. He walks a lot. My
computer illiterate grandpa.
Absolutely. That's me.
No, so we
on technology.
We were talking about the Adventure Pass, right?
Yes. Adventure Road, it's now called.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's like a journey.
I don't think we got all the way through it.
No, we didn't. Well, let's get back to it. It says that it's a huge quest chain that lasts the entire month with over 50 unlockable rewards along the way. Here's my question. So there's daily quests now, but here's my question. A lot of people are saying that you can wait, you can do all the quests and whatever and wait until, I don't know, the end or towards the end, and then buy the premium thing and get all the rewards. Is it going to work like that? Has someone confirmed that?
I don't know, but there's this game that I know Absalom's familiar with it. It's a huge time waster. So if you're part of Rollercoin and you ever listen to this, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diss your game, but there's a game called Rollercoin, and it's like a virtualization or a simulation of mining. Okay. And so you can play games and to earn like hash rate that mines cryptocurrency and then their native currency. And then you can also basically buy in, which gives you their native token, and you can buy miners from them. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun at first until you realize that unless you want to just continually pay in constantly, then you're never going to excel at the game. But anyways, I'm mentioning that game because they have season passes, if you will. And how it works there is they have a freeway where you don't have to pay anything at all. But you're only eligible. So there's like 50 rewards, for instance. There's not 50, it's probably 20, but there's 50 rewards. You're eligible for like 25 of them. And then the rewards are per level, and like level 1 might be free, level 2 is paid, level 3 is paid, level 4 is free, etc. So if you have that free, you just won't get the reward on those certain levels you achieve where it's for the paid subscription. But on top of that, so they have free and then they have paid, but on top of that, they have an extended third one, but which the community would scream and cry and with rage, but it's basically pay to win, because if you pay this absurd amount of money, which is like 500 of their native token, which they peg to $1. So it's like, if you want to pay $500, then you just get all the rewards for that season. You just get them all. So they have a very similar model where you have to like play their games and complete certain achievements, like play 10 of this game, play 10 of this game, do this task, do that task. And then that gets you along these levels. And again, so if you're free, you get part of the rewards. If you pay for their pass with their native coin, which is a reasonable amount, I want to say it's still kind of ridiculous, but if you pay this reasonable amount, then when you go through the levels, you can get all of those rewards, but you still have to progress through the quest chain or adventure pass, if you will. Or there's that just buy-in option where you can just buy everything. So I'm curious if there's going to be, I'm curious, just like you're saying, like if you can just wait till the end and buy everything and it gives you everything. But I would assume, now I'm assuming that they don't have that third model that I'm talking about. They have the free pass, which through the levels you can achieve certain things that are free. Right. Or they have the paid pass where you still have to play the game. Right. But if you meet those or complete those daily quests or levels or whatever, then you get that reward because you bought the adventure pass. That's how I assume this works. But I don't think we're going to know for certain until it comes out, and then even then there could be changes in the future.
Of course. I do see what you're saying in the paragraph that I'm looking at right now. So it says the main path of the adventure road is free to play, and you'll gain achievements and blah blah blah. But then it says for additional rewards as you progress, you can purchase an adventure pass with crystal keys. Doing so will boost your adventure road, as in like you'll still have to do it, unlocking a whole new set of rewards along the way, including here's where it's they're skirting the line here. So you're paying, and you still have to do it, but now you're getting epic rewards. Epic resources. The headquarters skin, which is a cool like 60s, VW bus van. So shout out VW Rules Chick. There you go. And brand new types of cubies called achievement cubies, which do not seem to be bound by the laws of blueprints. Have you seen the achievement cubies?
I saw the Zodiac Cubie. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
So the beginning of Zodiac cubies and the Scorpio.
Yeah, that's a weird looking Cubie, but I could see how it's their Scorpio Cubie.
I'm going to go on record as saying I hate it. I hate this Cubie. It looks terrible. I think it looks like they tried to slap Pac-Man faces on a like Egyptian kind of looking guy. I don't understand it at all.
It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite, but I bet it will be up somebody's alley.
Any Scorpio, anybody in October, right? Or around there?
Yeah. And then I'm interested to see the animation too. Oh, I wonder what that just makes me wonder what they're going to do when there's an anniversary event and there's Scorpio all over again. That obviously the people that have paid for it for a year aren't going to want the same Cubie, so it'll be interesting maybe to see what they do. That's a long ways away though.
It is, and there's no guarantee that they're going to go right back, back to back, like whatever the next one is, and Sagittarius and Capricorn. They're not necessarily going to do that month to month. It might just be take a while and come back to it in a year or so.
Right. I don't ever think I answered you about how many keys I have. Even after forging up 100, I'm still sitting at 1100.
Whoa, there you go. Good stuff.
I guess
you were at 0 before, right? When we finished Cubie Air?
Part 1? No, I wasn't at 0, but I think I had 300 something. So it's still still been a big jump still.
All right, that's on par then. I've been still hitting vaults here and there. I'm not waiting, not like waiting for Halloween. I'm not like going nuts or anything, but stats are over 500. I'm gonna keep doing my normal little thing anyway.
Yeah. Yep. I think
I'm sorry.
I'm definitely in the minority where I'm hitting system vaults now.
Oh wow! But I showed you saw. I saw you post that you had over 5 million resin. Is that from architect stuff, or that you're buying it, or what? You posted it?
Did you see my comment right below that?
Maybe I don't. Refresh me.
Yeah. I took Jaya's screenshot and I just opened it up in Paint and then copied like her 5 character and then just scooted it on over, covered a couple numbers on mine and made it look like I have 5 million, but try about a tenth of that.
You got me.
Yeah, and right below it I put paint.exe.
Yeah. That's
to
what
try
it was.
to give a clue that I was trolling. Yeah. I got a couple fire emojis like, yeah, you're cool, dude, or like, awesome. Like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the architect really pays off.
Yeah, you guys got to get one of these. Look at the resin I have from this.
If you could print another one, that would be a nice selling point. But
no, for transparency, I'm at 611,990 resins. So
wow. Well, you always say you keep selling it and you never get to 1 million, right?
Well, yeah, but I haven't. I mean, it's been a good month since I've sold any, I feel like. So
you picked a good month to stop because it's been dirt cheap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I haven't sold any paint for a while either. I took that back. I was selling paint to K-Hag right after he got the RNG blueprint. So I was like, hey, let me list this. Yeah, let me list this. How much paint do you have? Just curious.
What kind? Any kind? Whatever.
All of them, yeah.
I got just over 2 million resin, just for your FYI. 36,000 purple, 8,000 red, almost 90,000 yellow, almost 80,000 green, and almost 20,000 blue. And the blue I'm just buying left and right as much as I can because it seems dirt cheap. So I'm just battling back and forth because I don't know why blue paint is like nothing now all of a sudden.
Well, it's nothing because it's dropping out of happy hour. Like it feels like 40% of the
that's great.
Drops.
Love it. Because you know what doesn't drop out of happy hour? Foreman's. so bring it on.
Yeah. Are they still selling okay?
I haven't sold one for months, so I don't know. But I'm trying to save up. I spent all my blue paint to print a bunch of Foreman's, and then Cubie Air came, and I didn't get any blue paint for a while, and I was blue paintless. So I kind of fell out all of the Foreman thing, and I didn't want to sell any Foreman because I used them all up for my display case to make it look like I was having a construction crew barbecue.
Nice.
So if you look at mine, I put a whole bunch of Foreman and my one cooked turkey in the corner. And Illusion Weaver said, "Oh, it looks like a construction yard barbecue." So then I was able to print a second Fire Dragon Cubie, and so I put the 2 Fire Dragon Cubies right next to them. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my little display case for now.
And what's yours look like? Oh, my display case. I haven't looked at it for a long time.
See, attending to it. Yeah, I haven't looked at it either. Actually, where are you? Where are you on the leaderboards? Where are you?
I don't know, but I've been getting a lot of shit lately. Oh, Luke is beating Zach or Mac.
Oh, there you are. You're 18th. You're 18th. Not bad. You're missing
US?
something on your.
Talking about US?
Display. Yes, I'm on US.
Yeah, I have a blank spot in my display.
You do.
You know where that is? You know what that is?
Your other architect that you sold?
Yeah, that's what that is. Good call.
Yeah, since then you haven't looked at it. So there you go. You do have a Missy, so that's cool.
Yeah. That was bought for over
the other ones are cool.
2 red, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe you'll get to get a hopefully not a black cat, but you'll get something for it this year. I wonder if they'll burn more cats. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
The Missies, man. The Missies will then become the black cats because we can keep printing black cats as long as there's blood. But then the Missies will become the epic thing.
I just hope I don't have to burn my Missy that I bought, yeah.
But you will, right? You will.
I have to, I will. Yeah, but then, oh
Well,
man, trying to buy that guy back. Ooh.
well,
Or guy,
absolutely,
girl.
especially after what 20, 30 people burn their Missy again. That'll be really tough. So cats will go flying off the shelves.
Right.
Oh, why am I? I'm trying. I'm trying to buy scales. I'm trying to buy dancing flames. I'm trying to buy fire crystals, and I should really be focused on cats right now. I'm just not.
Yeah. Also in November on that Medium article.
Keep us on track.
Happy hour fix. I was just
Happy hour fix.
The only reason I'm talking about it is because I'm happy about it. Like, especially when you hit the system vaults and you get happy hour. You're like, fuck yeah! And you get the category and then you get 1 cent.
You get it perfect.
You. Went from fuck yeah to fuck you.
So before, I guess, or still to this at this moment, if you were on happy hour and you hit a vault and you got the boosted category, it could still throw crypto at you and not give you the choice of getting the happy hour or getting the resources.
Yeah,
so
and
at least now it will definitely give you
to fix, right? Because that saves
them
money.
Yeah, they want to give you the resources instead. They want you hunting, playing, and getting resources for the most part.
Yeah.
Playing the game. I wonder, is this going to go towards, they've always said like the main gameplay will be hunting vaults to get crypto. At some point, will you start building structures and getting, I don't want to say a passive income, but because of the effort you have put in and built this thing, you get something back for it? I like that they always give keys back, because then you still have to go spend the keys to get crypto. But is there ever going to be some point you think where you get paid back in crypto?
Right? No. I don't think there will ever be a way where you get paid back in crypto. Actually, that not necessarily completely true. Like, and what comes to, and I don't know, that this would be obviously up to Illusion Weaver and Cuckoo Puffs, but like they talked about pizza shops and they already have, not, I wouldn't call them partnerships, but like test beta places at these whatever food you bought, sushi food. Yeah, like if they kicked back like 2% or something like that, like you could potentially, like Quinn Hunt World could take their cut of that, and then you could get some portion of that back in crypto, possibly. I assume they would want to give it to you in keys, but I'm just saying they could give you some crypto because you used cash, to pay them. So
I think that the tricky part about this whole like using businesses thing is, what I saw was that it would be a pretty high threshold to be able to involve yourself in this. Like if you were a pizza shop, if you're a mom and pop pizza shop, you're probably not doing this. This is geared towards Domino's, Papa John's, that kind of thing.
Hut. Yeah.
Right. And so it requires like breaking through that ceiling of getting big and being noticed and, being a big thing to get into one of those big things. Because everybody's got a mom and pop pizza shop around. I'm going to guess everybody doesn't have Domino's. Yeah,
and again, the broken Zach record, that just goes back to like, look, there's one guy funding this. Like, he's got a plan. He's trying to make it grow, but at the same time, he can't feed the whole world. So,
if everyone wasn't aware before, everyone is definitely on the Zach page now. Of there's one guy doing all of this, and if he turns it off, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I mean, he can. He can ignore me. He can dislike me. And he hasn't, like, when I've DM'd him about stuff, it's always been like, hey, I think this could help Quinn Hunt World, like trying to bring in the hero trainer thing, for example. But I've never like DM'd him nonsense. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't, I like the guy. Obviously, he's a good guy, and he
great guy.
Is given everybody in this. If you think he's not a great guy, like, this guy's giving you money, so. And he doesn't have to. So
I won't spend more than 1 minute on this, but have you ever been in like the UK chat or the community general chat? Have you ever been in those places in Discord? I know you don't spend a lot of time there at all.
I've poked my head in a few times and gotten trolled a little bit, but then kind of left. Same thing with Canada for me though. But
with Canada, I never go in there.
That's funny.
So yeah, I call it the land of broken toys. It's where all like the banned people go and all the complainers and everybody who's like kind of mad about things and can't say it in the regular Discord. And I like to just go in there sometimes and just see what people are saying. And the worst of the worst, what I will say, is people saying like Cuckoo Puffs is a thief and I'm just like, I don't know how you've done such a backflip to get to that point. I understand the clawback of the crypto from the Cubie Air, but other than that, I mean, if you haven't been getting crypto out of this entire time, I don't know what you have to complain about. And I know you said you haven't linked Uphold this whole time, so I don't know if maybe all this turmoil has made you reconsider, or are you still steadfast? You don't have to answer that.
If I said that, I have since unlinked it. Like I unlinked when I got several $1,000s in there. I was like, meh. So I unlinked it and took it, but I went right back to unlinking it again. And that is kind of when my play went slightly more casually. It also kind of coincided with some personal issues and also a little bit nerf, whatever you were calling the 3 category change.
The Great Divide.
Yeah, the Great Divide. That wasn't privy to the name, but ever since the Great Divide, I've been a little more casual. But everything's been busier for me. Like my company got bought out, so I'm working for a new company, and my personal life, and then the nerfs, all of it. So I've been playing less, but I'm still a fan of the game. Still love the game. Still here. Just Loop-de-Loop might beat me every month. So I said every month, but that was like maybe it was a Freudian slip. I don't know. but I don't think it was. I don't think he's yet beat me. Loop-de-Loop.
Ooh, challenge. Challenge. No. We're done with IT guy. Bring it on, Loop-de-Loop.
IT guy out. No, IT guy, you're great.
I'm bringing it local. But well, he's been busy. He's been doing stuff.
Yep. All right.
Oh, what was I going to say about that? Did we talk about green and yellow vaults are back to daily and weekly?
So I think it was Loop-de-Loop mentioned that on our KC chat, but it was like a pop-up on my phone. I read it briefly and only saw like half a message, but I didn't actually see that or notice that. Was that in the article or was that just a one-off comment?
It was in the article. It was like the first thing mentioned, like, hey, just to make you aware, this is what's going on.
Yeah. Back to me not being able to read. But I suppose that's because of the Great Divide, right? The Great Divide, and then they're like, oh, we can bring this back.
It seems that way, yes. And it doesn't help me at all. I don't have any interest in going and driving my green vault loop to half the time get paint. So I'm just like, you still got me, Coin Hunt World. I'm still gonna take my barely $10 a week each week now. So, but yeah, I'm hooked. So I'm not gonna be doing the big runs, and I'm not gonna be getting the money I was. So it's working, even if you bring back the green vault. So unless green vaults come back in some buff, the buff after Halloween, I don't know what that's gonna be, but we'll see.
Now, are you hitting green vaults still or not?
I have 2 green vaults that are kind of like, even in my normal life, I just kind of drive right across with them. So sometimes I hit those. There's another one kind of around the way where I'll sometimes hit that one here and there. I've gotten burned a lot of times. So, and I say burned by like, I get like, 250 green paint or blue paint or something. I'm like, that's not worth a green key to me, honestly. So I would love to have the choice on those. I get why they're doing that. But I just today got crypto for the first time since I think 333 has started. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, so yeah, the urge to, oh my God, I got to go get this dollar and this dollar and this dollar. It's broken by this, what I'll call the Pavlovian response of like, this intermittent reward system where like, you don't get it every time. So when I don't get it every time, I'm like, I'm not going to go out of my way to maybe not get it.
No, I think, Illusion Weaver had buffed the green vaults paint wise. Wasn't it twice? Like it went from
100 to 250.
I thought it went from 50 to 100.
Maybe it was 50 back when you started.
And then
it was 100 every time I've played.
No, I mean like right when the 333 change happened. But maybe it was 100 to 250. We obviously know that was in there. I thought 100 was really weak, though, because if you consider that, like, if you forged up to do it, it would be
250.
Yeah, it would be 4 vaults, and then that's equivalent to the resin you would get to, or no, the resin was equivalent to less than 3 vaults, blue vaults, right?
Right.
Of resources. So yeah, I think the 250 paint was definitely needed. I still feel like the resin is, I don't know, low.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Maybe up the chance of the stamp. I don't want to say that though, because like I feel like stamps have to have something in the game that burns them. Obviously, creating a structure will burn it, but like unless it's like yearly or every 3 months you have to have a stamp or something like that, then I unless it has a burn, then I don't see how that would be of more value. I don't know.
I see what.
But because I'm just trying to think of like a way for Beats to be excited about green vaults again, and I think there's a way to make it happen without giving crypto. I do. I just like if it was a stamp, paint, and resin, like you might be more inclined to go for it because then that you can sell those and potentially get keys back. But I know that would just continue the cycle though. So we also need to find a way. But again, maybe OpenSea in the future. But I don't know. Like the game, that's where the transition has to happen. There has to be some transition at some point. Between Bill's wallet and long-term stability of the game where it can support itself, and that's obvious. But what I mean by that is because then you would be more excited about the resources if the game was move to earn, play to earn, etc. But there was also a marketplace where you could sell to other players for real money. I get people hate the idea of play to win or pay to win, but like at the same time, that's how like Steppen got big quickly. It felt like, but it's also probably because it's open to more countries too. But again, one man funding this, it has to grow at a certain pace, or it's going to get too big too quickly. So I don't know. I'm just, it's not my game. I'm just blabbering like I normally do.
Got to get that in there every time.
Yep.
Good stuff though. Yeah, I agree. I don't know where we're going from here because obviously Bill can fund it for a while, but the goal is to get something to happen. And the kind of the pessimistic side of me is like, man, really nothing has happened this whole time. So we're at 2 years. So where we're at.
I want to say in the beginning, like we mentioned, not we, I don't know. I mean, the community, people, Absalom. I don't know exactly who mentioned it, but people mentioned like monetize me, like give me a Cubie to buy and I'll buy it. Like this game's awesome. While he was giving us out money, and I think at the time he was more like, oh, we want to monetize. We don't want to monetize our player base, but now like you said, a year and a half later, we're kind of doing that. But that's what a lot of the play to earn games do.
Move to earn, right?
Move to earn, play to earn. Yeah, they have to at least on some level monetize their own player base, but
yeah, and that's where like when you compare it, as soon as you compare a Coin Hunt World to something else and say like, well, there's still that's what everybody else does. I think that's where you lose some of the enthusiasm of the community, where you say like, oh, this is the best community, because this was such a great opportunity and this was such a cash cow and this was such a great way to, many people say like something like, how long does it take you to earn 500 sats in another game? Probably hours, I don't know. And then how long does it take you to get 500 sats? If you have a user vault right outside your door, you might get it right there. So
one other thing, I don't know if they've explored this, but like even if they didn't offer like an OpenSea type on the blockchain, they could still potentially, and I know this isn't as exciting for a lot of people because it wouldn't once it's off chain, once it's on a chain, it's like yours, you know what I mean? like you own it, but so then you could sell it or whatever. But they could still create like an in-game type marketplace and then take a cut off of that, and then only allow people to use like crypto, like have the same economy they have with keys, but they could also do it with crypto that you've earned in game too, and then take a cut of that back too. So then Bill could get cut of keys and cut of crypto back. Or I mean, he's obviously thought of this stuff. I'm just, it all takes development time, and that's the biggest problem, right? And that's still not like really earning him revenue. So that's the biggest thing. Like we need partnerships, right?
Right. It's all just been like lengthening the runway, as you guys say. So yeah, there's got to be somebody somewhere that says, hey, this is worth it. And the kind of, I don't know, the detective work or whatever you would call it, where people are kind of looking up how many active players there are, where they're like, hey, my wife, doesn't play, and I'm just hitting her user vaults and she's at like 5,000th. I'm like, well, there's 5,000 active players then. So is that where I heard 1 million players by the end of this year. So it sounds like we're just treading water here at this point, is what it sounds like. And I know that article said something about most engagement for this event, but is it there? Is like, where do you see these numbers? They have the data, but we don't see it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty exciting event when you consider that, that it was going to be, the potential giveaway it was. I don't know, but like, again, like I'm super happy that, for instance, they've implemented like the steps thing, where you can earn keys that way. But
sure,
I mean, again, like, it's so much easier for me to sit here and say bullshit that doesn't really matter, or that it's a lot easier to talk about than it is to actually implement, gain relationships and stuff, and then actually execute and develop something with, like, for instance, another company. But like, like some of their competitors, like what I'm going to call a competitor, they could do something with like STEPN, like they could integrate your Cubie, and your Cubie could have shoes, and they could wear the shoes you bought in STEPN, and they could give that Cubie a boost, like on your walking. Like, oh, with a common shoe, you could increase your walking progress by 2%. With an uncommon shoe, you can increase it by 3 or 4%. With a legendary, shoe on your Cubie, you could increase it by 10%. Like the speed of you could progress. Like, I'm just saying, like they could, or I feel like they have a little bit. This isn't a diss on Coin Hunt World, because Coin Hunt World's a different game. STEPN is about stepping. Coin Hunt World is about discovery, cubies,
trivia,
events, trivia, a lot more. Right. But I am going to say that STEPN has the GPS, the distance, the following, a little bit down a little bit better. But Coin Hunt World might have it how they like it, if that makes sense. Like they purposely, it feels like they purposely kind of tried to make it not difficult, but like difficult to cheat. And in some ways it also makes it sometimes difficult to like run.
Play.
Yeah, to run, and actually like, oh, I didn't get any credit for that run. Like, that sucks, type thing. You know what I mean? But like,
that's why I'm terrified to change phones, because mine always counts.
Whereas for instance, I just want to, like, on STEPN, you say start, and like you see your progress. It tracks your progress. It tracks your kilometers. I don't like it's in kilometers, but that's fine. But it tracks your kilometers. Like, what you're earning. Live. I get that, like, there's a progress bar, but like you can still see your distance and stuff like that, your steps, and so, like, I don't know.
It's all correlating and tracking, and not just one static thing or one arbitrary line that's going
right. Moving. And that's not a diss. I don't mean or intend for that to be a diss in Coin Hunt World, because they're trying to do a lot more than just track stats and create shoes. But it would be exciting for me, if they had some project like that they could coordinate with and even integrate with. But I think that's like a far off, maybe fantasy, unrealistic type goal, but I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Well,
I want my Cubie to have shoes, Beats.
None of them wear shoes, do they?
No.
It's weird. Well, they don't have feet, so whatever. All right, so I'm looking at the Scorpio Cubie. All right, well,
you're still stuck on it. Okay.
You know, maybe I have to see the animation. Maybe it'll do something to me. I don't know. It looks like an afterthought to me. It looks like let's throw this in here. And like, what's the Zodiac Cubie gonna do? What's it gonna do in a structure? You know, like this is what I'm mad about. This is my gear to grind here, is that there's so many Cubies now, and there's nothing to do with any of them. Like you can say you could put them in a structure or whatever, but like, what are you doing with a Scorpio Cubie? What are you doing with that? I don't understand.
Wearing it if you're Scorpio on the.
What are you doing with the wombat? Like, what's a wombat gonna go in? Like,
I don't know. But I feel like you're giving me a platform to advertise that my architect gets 10% bonus resin.
Okay. Do you have one to sell?
No, I don't. Wait, actually, I could.
Oh.
That's funny.
You just need 500 more scales?
No, I mean, I could sell the only one I have.
Oh, the one you have. The one you have.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be crazy.
So does, who has it? Excalibur has one he could sell you. Yeah. Seemed like he was trying to sell it.
No, he's not selling it to me. I don't have any keys for that.
My guess is he could turn around and sell it to, what's his name? Fall Mike Z. Just turn around and sell the Fall Mike Z for profit.
So here's the tricky thing about all this is, like, you know, there was kind of always this idea of, hey, I can sell these big ticket items and always kind of dump them into a red vault at one point or a purple vault at one point. It doesn't seem like that's going to be much of a thing going forward. And with Cubie Air crashing and burning, it destroys the confidence in the idea of, hey, let me sell this big ticket item to get a bunch of keys. Like, I don't really necessarily want a purple key at this point, right? Like, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, I don't like the words of crash and burn.
Those are my words.
But just because, like, yeah, so the payout didn't happen if you were expecting it and you did it a bunch of times, but or did it once like yourself. But, you know, at the same time, taking out the crypto, like, the game gave me an experience and I didn't even do it. But just like, vicariously or whatever, like, you know, like looking and watching other streamers that did it, and then even seeing it and even like practicing some of the trivia myself, like I was like nervous because I knew like we were about to start our podcast and I knew I was going to do it, and I'd been frantically looking at all of the questions, trying to prep as much as I could, as quickly as I could, for probably a few hours that day. And not that it would have helped, but because, like, for all I know, I would have crashed at the yellows, but probably not with you on the podcast with me. But we probably would have got out with goods or something.
We would have slow played it.
Yeah, but just
use the automation.
Yeah, use the automation. But
possible data.
Yeah, but I just, like, it gave me a feeling from the game that I hadn't experienced before, and like, or at least not for a long time. Like the I don't want to say panic, but like the, you know, the increased heart rate, the intensity of the event. And when something high risk is online like that, that's a unique experience that the game has, I think that the game gave us that we haven't experienced or haven't experienced in a long time. And so in that sense, I think it was successful, and also it felt smooth to me. Like you've had some, I mean, I know there were delays, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the actual gameplay. I didn't see any like crashes or anything like that.
Well, there were a lot of people who said they disconnected, and that was mentioned in that article about the demise of the Cubie Air. They did say there were a lot of disconnections, and again, they said about the impossible data and things like that. And it sounds like some of that was a smokescreen to basically say, hey, we didn't want to pay out that much, or we didn't realize that was going to happen. So I don't know. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know if we'll ever really know, because two different things were said. So,
well, all I'm saying is I just thought it was creative gameplay and exciting is really what I took out of it. Regardless of if I didn't know there were crashes, and I don't know. I don't understand how there can be crashes if you're at home on your own Wi-Fi, but okay, whatever.
I don't know.
I could also see people like having Wi-Fi disabled and going off their cellular signal and thinking they're on it and being at home and doing stupid shit. But I'm not blaming people. I'm not blaming Corona, or I'm just saying that like technical things happen too. So some of it's unavoidable, but yeah. I'm sure part of why I miss steps on runs is half my fault too. Actually, it's probably just GPS signal when that happens, but it still pisses me off.
I noticed when it's a very cloudy day, it takes a lot longer to walk.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know. I'm wondering. I do some walking at night. I mentioned to you before our podcast, like I've been having trouble going out at night walking. So it's been very, very frantic, creative / I don't know what you want to call it, trying to get it done throughout the day.
That's how you have to do it, right?
When I should be working and spending time with family, and I'm like, oh, I got to go walk, so it's been hard. So I am a night walker, so I need to continue that.
Yeah, I've been the same way. I try to stick as much as possible to getting like at least 1 hour in at night, and then the rest of the next day isn't as bad. So
speaking of, you're supposed to be walking. Where are we at?
We're almost there.
Give me back.
Tagging happens in November, so they said May. We're at November, so let's hope it's November, right?
Hopefully none of the trolling that people do actually bugs Illusion Weaver. Like, oh, tagging's coming. When? And then like May. Hopefully none of that shit bothers him, because like we appreciate you, Illusion Weaver. Like we appreciate your kindness. I frankly appreciate your forgiveness. I think you're a stand-up guy, and development comes with delays, and that's just like a known thing. And then not only that, but like their priorities have changed. Like I think when they announced tagging, I don't even think they were talking about a battle pass.
Right,
so
absolutely.
like it's like stuff changes, like timelines change. So it's not fair for the community to sit there and troll him and Bill and whatever about that stuff. But
well, I'm gonna do it because
here it goes.
That's what I like to do. Number one, and number two, I hope it's the first thing that comes out of my brain is like terrible. I hope it's a lesson to Illusion Weaver to not say things way ahead of time that aren't going to happen. Don't do that, because the community hates when you do that. So just don't tell us. Don't tell us. Don't say that.
I
that
disagree.
User vaults might go. Don't tell us that user vaults are going to go away if you don't hit them twice a month. Like, don't say those things, because people run with that forever. Yeah. Don't say that tagging is coming in May when we're 6 months later. Don't say it unless it's tested, it's approved, it's ready to go. I wouldn't say these words unless it was already in my back pocket, ready to go. You got a whole community of people here who are interested and love this game, and it hurts them when things don't happen when it's supposed to. When you say.
Are you done?
No, you know what? No, I'm done. Yeah, that's it.
I just wanted to make sure that you got it, because I started to interrupt you, and then I'm like, I shouldn't interrupt him, so I'm just going to make sure he gets his thoughts out.
That's it. Go.
I don't disagree with everything you said, because I do think it's frustrating, but like that, I feel like that comes with part of the passion that he has for the game, and obviously you want your main developer to have and designer to have passion for the game. And then next, most developers aren't in Discord daily with their community, as active
true.
as somebody like he is,
Totally
and
true.
he's also being asked questions constantly, and they're like we just discussed, like
Why does he hire you?
the
Just to hire
decision
you.
the decisions change over time. So, but I the one thing I do kind of agree with is like the user vault thing, like, and you have to hit them twice a month daily or they're going to go away. Because like, man, I would have put them in like Las Vegas. I would have been sitting up, maybe gone to Canada, put it in New York, and I'd have had them all on like hot spots. But that may not be true, but I definitely would have stuck one in Florida when I was down there.
Right,
but anyways, like even that is still difficult because that was their plan at the time. That was
you have
their
like
plan.
you have like a strobe light effect going.
Yeah,
on.
I know. Hang on just a second.
Okay, I didn't know if you know. All right. While Zach figures out his lighting situation. Oh, there we go. All right, it just took a second. We figured it out. It worked.
My $20 camera, whew, it is not good in the dark. And then even now it's got like waves in it, so like I don't know. It looks clear, like it's a good.
That's good.
It's a good picture, but I don't know. I just lesson is don't buy a $20 camera off Amazon. But anyways,
Hey,
all I'm gonna I just think you're giving them a hard time because like the opposite the opposite is you get nothing. You hear nothing, and then nobody's excited about anything, and then until it actually comes. But you know, I don't know. I mean, give and take. I like that they're so interactive with their community. I say that, and then like now I'm not really in there, so
you're not there.
Yeah. But it's nice, like when I come in, to be able to pop in and actually see the developers talking, or to be able to ask them a question. And
everyone's like, "Hey,
I was gonna say 50% of the time respond, but it's more like 20% of the time respond. But you know what I mean? So like they don't have to. So
everyone's always very happy to see you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else.
Everyone but the developers and Block Boy.
We never even touched on that they dropped the Cubie Air anniversary event recap. Do you want to talk about that at all?
You talk about it.
451 hunters finished the Cubie Air quest chain, which was a new record. So 451 people got the hanger, and I guess a pilot and a
aren't those also the people that got the wombat?
So wombat people ended up being, instead of the top 500, was anybody who finished the quest chain.
Anybody who had a boarding pass, yeah.
And anybody who bought a boarding pass and tried the gauntlet. So it ended up being a lot more people, which is
I guess does that mean that they increased the said count of wombat blueprints? Like I thought it was supposed to be capped at 500. Does that mean it went over 500, or do we know?
I'm almost positive it went over 500 because everybody who got to do the event to do the Cubie Air 2 got a wombat. So that was like 800 something at least.
Sure.
And so if you finished the quest chain and didn't do the gauntlet, you also got it. So
makes sense.
We're looking at over 1,000, and I'm looking through the article right now to see if I can find it, and I don't see how many wombats were dropped.
Even still, I'm okay with that, even though it's a different change, I guess.
This was the first event, I think, where more pilots, more of the epic blueprint dropped than the common blueprint.
What?
That's what they're saying. Just a few more, like 15 more, 25 more, or something like that.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think there was something messed up in the very beginning of Cubie Air Part 1 where the drops were off because everybody seemed to get a pilot. I got a pilot on my second vault, and I was getting 50 drops of cinnamon sticks, which obviously was said to be wrong. So
damn, that's how people got so many cinnamon sticks. I mean, I was like, I know I'm not going super hard. I barely played in the beginning, so that explains that. But I ended up with like 135. So I was like, man, the people have like 500. Like, how did they get so many?
Oh wow.
I mean, I say they tripled my. I could say they tripled my play, and like, but like that would mean they did like 5 times. I mean, that's probably possible, but like, man.
There was question too about the validity of these stats because it said cinnamon sticks for the most cinnamon sticks dropped were for Makiki Tiki for 278, and a few people said like, no, I had more than that. So I don't know if maybe these stats got a little wonky. I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but that's possible. But you also have to consider people probably had cinnamon sticks ahead of time too from Christmas.
Yeah, I had cinnamon sticks. I had like 20 some cinnamon sticks before, but
yeah.
278.
How many do you have now?
Now I sold a bunch, so I have 202. I have just enough to do my wombat and maybe a little bit more for just in case, something else pops up before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back. My dog's also barking like crazy. HC Mutiny, shout out to you. You opened the most vaults during the event, 2,913. That is amazing. But the Brizzle somehow got better RNG on key cards, even though she hit 2,894. So,
dang.
Yeah.
Whew.
Not too many less, like almost 20 less.
Oh, man. Kind of makes me wish I could just take a week off of everything and just hunt for 20 hours a day.
Well, take off for Halloween. Now we know the dates.
Yeah.
I have off for Halloween day, so I'll be doing the last hour or the last day.
Do you mean Halloween night?
Yeah, the last day of the event, I will be hunting like crazy.
Oh, dang, that's right. It's going to end on Halloween night at 7, isn't it?
Yes, for you, yes.
That sucks. Sorry, guys.
That's why you got to take off the Halloween day and go hunt all day instead of what you would normally do.
Yeah, I'm going to be like trying to walk around the neighborhood with my kids. Like there's some vaults around the park. Let's go this way, guys.
Yeah. I don't care if they have Snicker bars. We're going this way.
Yeah. Look, I'll buy some Snickers and like throw them on the ground. Look over there. No, I don't know. All right. What we got left?
Good stuff. What do we got left? Do you want to talk about anything else? Buddy quests. Talk about your buddy quest. Go ahead.
Mine was with Bits Zerk. He reached out to me. I was doing the casual Zach thing and waited like an entire day. And then he's like, hey, when are we gonna do this? So shout out to Bits Zerk for reaching out to me. I guess he's in Canada and he's PST, and I think I screwed up and I thought he was EST after I talked to him, and I was like, hey, you ready to do this? So this would have been a few hours or at least 2 hours ahead or more from when he was expecting to do it, and he's like, oh, now. And so like a shout out to him. He's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. So and then also is interesting because after noob, sorry, you have to deal with noob Zach. After we did our buddy quest, literally, I don't know if we were doing our walking quest at the same time, but we were like, I don't know, like 180th, and then like I did a buddy quest. We were right next to each other. I showed him a screenshot, like right when we did our buddy quest, and then like an hour later, we're like right next to each other again. Showed him a screenshot, and then I was like, hey, where are you going? And then like right after I hit a few vaults and finished my last one, I was, instead of being behind him, I was right ahead of him. I was going to send him another one and troll him, but I was like, I do a little too much of that. So especially being casual, Zach, I don't want to do like, hey, come get me, IT guy. So.
Okay. Well, so Bitzerk is in not in your area, is in, you're talking about the US leaderboards?
No, I was talking about global leaderboards. I think he's in Canada.
Wow. That's right.
I think I always get Vancouver and Toronto mixed up. I know they're like on the opposite sides of Canada practically, but
they are.
But like they're just big cities that I get mixed up. So I think he was Vancouver, but
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, friend Bitzerk, he was on top of it.
Yep.
Good stuff. I had 2. Obviously, it's been a little while since we've recorded. So 2, I had Fearless Pocho 808, which I think I, in a previous podcast called Fearless Epoch. I don't know why I threw an extra letter in there. But Fearless Pocho is one of the original Tiki people who did the Hawaii quest. So
nice.
Fearless Pocho 808. We did it despite the extreme time difference, which was great. And I had another one, which was with, so in-game, ABS123, I believe is the name. and in Discord, Demon Fox. So I just happen to know that because I've seen him talk here and there, and we were able to do it lickety split. Actually, I was like supposed to be at work earlier today. I think was it yesterday? No, yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I was supposed to be at work, but I was like playing a little hooky, like doing something else. And I was like, I could do it after, like when I go to work later. And he was like, I can't do it then. And I was like, all right, well, can you do it right now? He was like, yeah, I can do it right now. So just did it at like 10 a.m. my time. So,
there you go, Beats.
great stuff.
How far away are your closest yellow vaults to you? It's like 30-minute drive.
No, an hour. They're
An
both
hour.
in Philly, and
Okay.
they're they're like 10 minutes apart from each other, but it's like an hour drive to get there.
Oh yeah, off topic. You know what I normally do, but the last, I told you like right before we started recording, I was like, on Spotify, I was listening to. You can listen to 2020. Some I just changed up. Sometimes I'm listening to like Bitcoin podcast. Sometimes I listen to Coin World podcast. Sometimes I'm like random. My wife took my phone the other day and she listened to 2020, and so I was like, oh, I wonder what she's listening to. So
right.
I listened to it, and then I was like, and all these
How to
stories
kill your
about,
husband.
yeah, they're all like about murder. I'm like, oh, what is
Women who
she
murder their
thinking? Anyways, the last episode I was listening to, I was, it's kind of nonchalant, paying attention. Like, it was interesting. Don't get me wrong. So I think it was released Saturday. So if you want to go listen to it, it was wild. It was wild. Let me tell you that. It was
okay. So 2020 podcast is what you're saying?
Yeah, on Spotify. If you look up 2020,
okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me look up what the episode's called. So
while you're doing that, I would tell you that I was on Spotify earlier, and I pulled up Anthony Pompliano, and it was enthralling. He was talking to some guy about like the property rights and why Bitcoin is superior to fiat and blah blah blah, and was going all philosophical about it. And I was like, I could dig this. I could listen to this.
Yeah, I love Anthony Pompliano. He's just he worked at Facebook. I don't know what he did at Facebook, but he quit that into like, to people that have that brave, like, just entrepreneur like personality, right. Like, I envy that. But yeah, he's interesting to listen to. He's obviously intelligent, sure. Articulate. He's not, I mean, I wouldn't even call him the best speaker, but he's articulate, interesting to listen to, good interviewer, and he loves Bitcoin. I would say, I think Illusion Weaver was the first person to recommend me to listen to him. And I was a couple of years ago, and I was just like, are there any interesting Bitcoin podcasts? And I think Illusion Weaver mentioned Anthony Pompliano, and so that's how I first started listening to him. And yeah,
wow.
But I think he's kind of veered off, not doing just Bitcoin now, which is fine. I mean, he's still obviously a Bitcoin, like, I don't even want to say maximalist because that term is weird, but like, he obviously strongly believes in Bitcoin still. But yeah, anyways, I think it was called The Vanishing Act, the last episode of 2020. So, but anyways, the reason I brought it up, people are like, why the hell is Zach talking about 2020? Is because basically this woman goes on a jog, and without ruining it, she's on that jog, she's either killed or abducted. But that's like every episode of 2020. Okay, so okay. I haven't told you anything that you don't know.
Right,
at least that's how the episode begins. But the interesting thing about it to me was like that it was in Reading, and I was like, holy shit. I didn't realize that, but I think it was Reading, California, but I didn't realize that until like halfway through the podcast when I thought I heard somebody mention California. I was like, damn it. I was totally hoping this was like beats Reading, Philadelphia.
You're like, I can't wait to accuse him of murder.
Yeah, like, I don't want to go to Reading, might get killed. Be careful walking, Beats. Because this lady went on a jog, she went missing. But anyways, yeah.
I don't know how Reading, California is, but I would absolutely, if I lived in Reading, actual Reading, I would not be walking. So
I'm totally against the racist thing, and sometimes I'm naive and I mean well by the things I say, but sometimes I just overlook historical things that have happened and why people might feel the way they feel and whatever. But I'm just prefacing that to say that it was mentioned in the podcast that they were looking for like two I guess Mexican ladies in the podcast that had abducted this woman, and then so like it was just
Two Mexican ladies abducted this other lady.
Well, this was part of the. I don't want to ruin the story, so I just want to say that like that it just reminded me that like you know
that you're not racist.
That there was kind of like this. I'm trying not to ruin it, so I can't say too much. But there was this twist I want to say, and then I was like, it just got me thinking about it.
See, as soon as you say there's a twist, you've ruined it. Now I know there's a twist coming.
Well, there's always a twist in every single one of these 2020 episodes. But I'm always like, how's this going to end? Did he kill her? Did she kill him? Was it the boyfriend? Was it the ex-boyfriend? Was it the, father-in-law? Like, you never know. There's always like, was it the boyfriend on the side that the husband didn't know about?
Oh, man.
But, I don't know. Anyway, sorry. This was very off topic.
I will have to give it a listen. That's for sure. If you're not listening to our podcast, listen to the 2020 podcast, The Vanishing Act.
If you're into that crime murder thing.
You know what? I kind of am. So if it holds my interest, I'll do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
All right. Well,
give me that beat.
Yeah. Thanks you guys for listening.
People dropped off 5 minutes ago when I started rambling.
They were like, all right, he's talking about another podcast. Forget it. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast, though, before you go. And we'll see you next time. So thanks for 1 year of doing this, Zach. And hopefully we'll be back next week because everybody keeps asking me and pinging me and tagging me and saying, when is next episode? And finally today I was like, just tag Zach and ask him. And then
I guess we'll find out. Right when they tagged me, I was like, beads.
You're like, you want to do it? And I was like, oh, see, it worked.
All right.
All right, Zach, give him the beat.